Hello, everybody. My name's Caesar.
And I'm Martha.
Welcome back to the 9th episode
of In a Wider Screen,
where
two idiots who know nothing about movies talk about movies.
So today we need to be quiet because we're talking about...
No, not that movie. That isn't like a movie.
That's a movie?
Or no, I'm thinking of like Hush or something.
That's a movie. Hush is a good one. But no.
Yes.
If it was Hush, I'd be like, Hush. I wouldn't be... Oh, no. We can't even do shh because it'd be too loud there. So we have to go...
Okay, moving on. We are talking about A Quiet Place.
Can you lower your voice? We need to be quiet.
A quiet place today. We should just do the whole episode
like this ASMR. Absolutely not. No, yes, we are doing A Quiet Place today in honor of A Quiet Place Part 2 finally coming out this weekend. I'm so excited to see it.
Very excited, yes.
I hope we'll be able to see it this week. Well, we should be,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, we're going to go see it.
We'll definitely see it. So maybe coming back next week, we can do a brief thoughts on it.
Yes, because we will have time for it.
Yes.
In the next week's episode, which we will talk about.
We'll talk about towards the end. Next week is our 10th episode, so we're going to do things a little differently. But we will touch on that at the very end. We're going to focus on the present.
The present.
Right now.
Currently.
And that is A Quiet Place. Just to briefly touch on it, it is directed by my man, himself, John Krasinski.
Jim himself.
Starring Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, the wonderful husband and wife team there. It was released
beautiful couple.
What?
I said beautiful couple.
Oh, they are, yes. Released on April 6, 2018. It was made on a $17 million budget, which is, I thought it'd be higher considering the creatures and everything. But,
yeah.
And it grossed $341 million worldwide.
Whoa.
So you can see why we're getting a second one. And got one nomination at the 91st Academy Award for Best Sound Editing. I don't know how I didn't win that. I don't know what it was up against that year.
That was
2018.
There's the little details that they.
Why do I feel like it was Bohemian Rhapsody that I lost to? I'm gonna look
it might have been.
Oh God, I partly don't want to look it up because I'm gonna be really upset.
And I love Bohemian Rhapsody.
But if you think about,
but there were a lot of points. There are a lot of awards that maybe they shouldn't have.
And I enjoy it too, but you gotta be honest. Look, it won. Oh, it won 4. I thought it won 6. I was gonna say it won too many. Yeah. But. Yes, it lost to Bohemian Rhapsody for sound.
Really?
Like this movie, we'll get into it more, but this is what makes A Quiet Place a quiet place.
Yes,
the sound.
It's so the attention to detail.
Yeah.
In the movie that really like immerses you into it, and it all has to do with the sound.
It's literally
going
just
on
the sounds, and
it's so perfect. So that's really disappointing to see.
Did you get to see this in the theater?
I did.
Okay, so you definitely
I got to experience.
You really experienced because I think I watched it from home again to watch it for this episode, and you definitely notice a lot of the sound and everything. But when you're in a theater, it's
so completely different. It's so different, yeah. Which is why I'm glad that we're gonna see
the second one. Like I have to, yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I'll just watch it later on eventually.
Nope.
But watching it again for this, I'm like, no, I need to see it in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
It's a must to see this type of movie in theaters because it's just so incredible.
Definitely. So when did you see it? Like when did you see it?
So I remember seeing it in theaters. I don't remember who I went with.
I remember. Speaking of, we've talked about how our hearts been broken by each other throughout our friendship on this podcast before.
Yes.
We literally planned. I remember talking to you and Brianna in high school. We're like, we're gonna go see A Quiet Place, right? And then the next week, I remember like a week after it came out, I'm like, are we gonna go see it this weekend? Brianna and I already saw it.
Did we really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Listen, after the whole Star Wars thing, I can't say I didn't deserve that.
Yeah, you definitely.
But we literally planned on it.
Wow.
And I think also by then I already had been working, so I could have gotten y'all free tickets. And y'all still went to go pay and go see the movie. That's your own fault.
And I love that I started this with I don't even remember who I saw it with.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, I remember.
You're torn up about it.
This was like 3 years. Oh my God, this came out 3 years ago.
3 years ago, wow.
It felt like a long time. I mean, to be fair, also the second one was supposed to come out it was literally like a week or two after like everything started shutting down from COVID. They were supposed to come out. It was it's already premiered like last year.
Yeah.
So people have already like seen it, and so it's just crazy. But yeah, it feels so long.
Yeah.
And I still remember the hurt from.
I'm sorry. I don't remember that happening.
That's your own fault.
You didn't have to pay for that. I'm a bad friend, and I apologize. But I'm making it up for you making it up to you because
we're gonna
see it part 2. Yes. So it's fine. We're good.
Anyways, so yeah, she finally remembers who she saw it with, and
it was
a great experience, I'm
Brianna,
sure.
apparently. Yeah. No, who would have thought?
So thanks, guys.
But yeah, I mean, I remember really enjoying it, seeing it in theaters, but
definitely, yeah.
I don't remember.
I saw it in the theater too. I saw it after a month it came out because right when it came out was like my second or third week working at a movie theater.
Okay.
So I was the day before it came out was my birthday, and they start showing movies Thursday night. So really, like the night it came out was my birthday, and I had to work. I was like, oh, fine.
Oh.
So I go to the theater that night. I remember that weekend it was A Quiet Place and Blockers that were both coming out, and I was like, okay, they're both gonna do well. I like probably Quiet Place a little better, but Blockers is gonna have a lot of people too, and it did. But I thought it was gonna kind of not do. I did not see it coming how well it was gonna do.
Yeah.
We were so busy that night. And because I thought they weren't going to do crazy well, I was like, okay, it's going to be a chill night for my birthday working.
Ew.
Not only did I get put on the worst shift of the theater, which is vending in restrooms. I hated that shift so much.
Oh.
Because literally your entire shift is seeing everyone else mess up the work you just did. Because you clean that vending section where you get your drinks and your butter and stuff. You clean it, and 2 minutes later, it's all a mess all over again.
Wow.
And you literally can't leave unless they desperately need your help cleaning a theater. Otherwise, you're stuck there.
That's awesome.
Hated it.
What a fun birthday.
And that's the shift I was stuck with for A Quiet Place. And I thought, okay, this shift stinks, but the movie it's not gonna be a lot of people. The theater I worked at wasn't the most popular theater in our area, so I was like, okay, most people are gonna go to the other theater to see it. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. I was wrong. It did so well. It sold out that theater, and people came to ours.
So and, a movie's good when people it's good. Choose to go to.
When
that
people come to
one.
our theater, I'm like, okay, it's making money. But then because I was working so much, I didn't have the chance to see it till a month later. My sister had already seen it in theater, so it was her second time. And she literally, like, based on the opening scene, she like was really like pushing me on like we need to be there on time because you need to see everything.
Oh.
And I made it to see like what happened, and anyway, but it was a great experience. But don't work at a movie theater. That's kind of my
that's your takeaway from this. Don't work at a movie theater.
I will say real quick, another movie that I remember came out that I was like, oh, no one's gonna go see that, and we got unexpectedly bombed by a bunch of guests. Was The Meg.
Really?
Yes.
The Meg. Oh, I never even saw it because it looked so bad.
I didn't like it.
I was like, I'm not watching this. This is ridiculous.
I remember we all thought it was going to be one of those stupid, like 47 meters down kind of thing.
Oh, God.
People saw it, but it wasn't popular, I thought The Meg was going to be something similar. I remember it made like $40 million, like its first weekend. It was packed in all our theaters. I was like...
Yeah, I remember I went to go see 47 Meters Down, and it was like opening week, I think, and no one was there. The theater was empty. I went with a group of my friends.
Oh my God.
We sat in the very front row. We were just like messing around the whole time.
You guys' money made up half like their earnings probably for the weekend.
Honestly, because it was a big group of us, so I just remember all of us just being ridiculous.
Why do you guys want to go though? Just because it was a shark movie?
No, I think it was just kind of like, let's hang out. What do you want to do? I don't know. This looks like a stupid movie. Okay, let's watch it.
And y'all just ran around.
We just kind of like hung out in the theater and we were talking the whole time because we were just paying attention.
Those are the fun ones. To be able to do like a live like commentary while you're seeing a movie theaters is always fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy that. The other thing about seeing it in theaters, and I'm also worried about it the second time, I got popcorn when I saw this movie. And I could barely...
Oh, because you cannot eat.
I barely felt like I could eat it because I'm all excited. We're walking in the theater. I got my popcorn, my drink. I think my sister had like pizza.
And something to note for all the viewers out there, he is the most obnoxious eater.
See, you're stretching it a little bit.
Am I? Am I really? Come on now. He is the loudest, most obnoxious eater. So I can just imagine the pain of wanting to eat but just can't because it's so quiet.
Because I know how loud I am. Because the movie starts and it's just silence for like literally there's no sound for like the first like 5-10 minutes whatsoever. And so I took a bite of my popcorn. And it wasn't like that packed. Like it was a month after it came out. There were still people there though. It was a popular movie. So, but still like just chewing. And then the drinks, the lids are like plastic.
Yes.
So then it goes. I was like, I cannot enjoy my food.
Yikes. And you get slushies, right?
Yeah.
The little ices. So
I always get
you always gotta like move the straw
and you always
around.
have to like mix it around because it's not always like mixed all the way through the cup.
Well, what a fun experience.
So I don't know what we're gonna do for this one.
Just
hopefully there's more.
Bring soft foods.
I mean, from what I've seen from the trailer, there's more talking.
We'll get ice cream.
Ooh, I've never gotten ice cream from the theater.
They have the gelato.
The gelato.
Gelato. It can be fancy.
That's true. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll see.
right.
We'll see what happens. We'll update you next week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what soft foods. We'll just eat baby food in the theater.
I can get pretzel.
Oh yeah,
Their pretzels are good.
their pretzels are the best.
Dude, also too, great thing about working at the theater though is you could try everything on the menu because everything's so expensive. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat
Yeah.
this on a normal. Like since I stopped working there, I barely bought food, but discounts. But I know the pretzels are good. They sell these cookies.
Oh, I never had
So
those.
scrumptious. They're so yummy.
Well, now you know. All the viewers out there, I know you know what to
But
get
I mean,
at
it
the
also
theater.
depends on where you go, which chain you go to. Maybe popcorn in your areas tastes like dusty and stale.
It's
I
pretty
don't know.
stale
Put some
most of the
chocolate
time.
in it. I don't know.
Chocolate?
You never had popcorn with chocolate in it,
Well, I've had.
like M&Ms or
Oh no, my movie combo is popcorn with Sour Patch Kids inside. Oh, it is so good.
really?
Salty and the sour. Oh, it's so good. Delicious.
Maybe
Try
that'll
it.
be the snack for the weekend. But I do need to learn though not to knock things until you try them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Exactly.
one thing I've seen people do throughout all my life that I thought was gross was when people eat pasta and they take breadstick and like mop it in the sauce.
Oh, that is the best.
To me, it always looks nasty. My girlfriend does it. I always look like. But then we went to Olive Garden. I was like, you know what? Let me just take it.
Oh, so good.
Oh, so good.
So good.
And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I know I was in the wrong. Mm-hmm. So as tempted as I am to say something about the popcorn and the Sour Patch, I'll give it a shot.
Yes, don't be a picky eater.
Yes,
I will.
okay.
I will eat anything. Give me anything on a plate, and I'll eat it.
Okay. Oh yeah, really? Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll try anything once. That's my motto.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I know something you're gonna try at McDonald's pretty soon in a couple weeks. Okay.
Anyway.
But so let's get into the movie itself. We just want to give some background on seeing it and stuff. But now, having seen it again, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you want to start from the beginning or just wherever you want to start.
Yeah. So I already I watching it again, I immediately remembered the power that this movie has of just constantly being on the edge of your seat the entire
The
time.
tension's crazy.
And which is insane for a movie that has maybe like 10 words spoken.
There's not much.
There are two scenes I
There's
think.
really two. There's like maybe two scenes with actual spoken dialogue.
spoken
which is the one
dialogue.
with him and his son at the with the water, and then him and Emily Blunt after they had the baby.
Yes, when they're in the little underground thing.
But other than that, everything
else is
through
there's
sign language or
yes.
just silent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which again, like is I guess a testament to this movie and the power of storytelling because it's again it captivates you. It holds you at the edge of your seat the entire time without having to say a single word. Like
know.
it's crazy for it to do that.
That's really the power of sound. Really,
Yes.
like, and I mean, obviously the sound thing comes into play with, these monsters. They can't hear. I mean, they can't hear. They can't see, and their hearing is so amplified. Like, that's like their superpower.
Yes.
And then obviously their daughter being deaf.
Yes.
Like a lot of it is like how she interprets the world without her hearing and her communication with her family.
Yeah.
And everything. So
Yeah.
obviously sound plays a huge part in the plot.
Yes, and I'm going off of the daughter. I think the opening up with those scenes of it just complete silence with her because you throughout the movie you get a lot of glimpses as to like what she hears, which is nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that it really just like it's so
Which makes that opening
crazy.
scene much more devastating.
Yes.
Honestly, like
she doesn't. So that opening scene is they're at the convenience store. Like
I think it's day 89. I think
yes.
it starts with.
Yeah, so they're about 3 months.
So like about 3 months into whatever's going on because we don't know what's happening.
And the little brother wants the
That
toy
little
because
damn rocket.
he's a kid. You can't expect a kid to know better. Because at the end of the day, he's still a toddler.
But they're 3 months in.
Yes, they're 3 months in, but still, he's a kid. Kids are going to do what kids do, regardless if they're in, a post-apocalyptic world or not.
Yeah.
Kids are going to be a kid. Like, they're going to be kids. So, and she knows that, and I think she just really wanted to be a good sister, so giving him that toy, and she didn't give it to him with the batteries in, so...
My annoying thing about it is why didn't, when he put down the rocket, why he should have just taken the batteries with him instead of leaving them there.
Why would they need... Well, yeah.
Well, for him to not... I guess in the back of their mind, they didn't think they were going to put the batteries back in.
He didn't think that he was going to get the rocket.
To get the rocket in the first, which...
Yeah.
No, you're kidding.
So, yeah. So that's so that's just all leading up to that devastating part where they're all walking home, and then he
whatever sound.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep. And he, the sound goes off. The monster comes and gets him.
And then her being deaf, like she doesn't know what she sees him panicking, and just like has no idea what's happening. Because like I said, she gave her the rock. She gave him the rocket, but she didn't.
Yeah. Pause. Spoiler warning ahead.
In my notes,
we always forget, and this one really is spoilers.
I need to hold on.
In a 1,000,000 font.
There we go.
Yes,
beautiful.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it now.
But yeah, so spoiler warning, because this one is going to be filled with spoilers.
Definitely.
But yeah, so going back to it, the toy goes off, the monster hears him, and she doesn't even realize what's going on until she sees like the look on her parents' face, turning around, and it's like, and the dad is running trying to get to the kid,
and then the monster just grabs the kid. I'm like,
it's like from the very beginning of this movie, it establishes this like it's gonna be like, this is heavy, like this is crazy.
No, it's crazy stuff.
So yeah,
and it makes it like really hot. Is like it shows how much stakes they are, how much danger they are in this world.
Yes.
And really like just how careful they have to be, especially like literally they can't make like barely a single sound. Not any noises at all.
Yeah, and then that continues on throughout the movie. There's like so many points where it's like you freak out. Everyone just freezes.
Oh my god, yeah, because they're like.
Because like they make one sound and it's like, oh no,
right? Like literally, like when it flashes forward, I wrote down the number. It was like 479 days or something. And at that point, they still don't know as much about the monsters, but it seems like they've developed a way to live and adapt.
And I want to say more on that in a little bit, but continue your thought.
Oh, but basically, like you were saying, like literally. That next scene is like they're playing a game or something. They drop that
the lantern.
Yes, and then they're all just like,
and they all freak out. And I feel so. The little boy is like, I'm sorry. Like and you could just see like the fear in his eyes after doing that, and like I feel so bad for him, like just because he just constantly is living in fear.
I feel bad for both those kids, man.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
But you were saying. I forgot the segue that you had said that reminded me of what I wanted to say, but I remember what I wanted to say.
Do you remember what you want to say?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I think what's really special about this movie is like the way that they introduce the story without actually having to like say what happened.
I love
it opens up on like it's like a ghost town, so you can clearly see something bad happened, and then you can see the rest of it told through like the newspapers that are like flying on the ground and things like that. So they do a really good job.
But none of it's like in your face. There's no like news reports or like flashbacks or anything. It's just like this is what things are like now, and they have to adapt and they have to survive as a family. They
fully establish what is going on, what is the backstory, without having to say a single word, which again, beautiful storytelling.
Yeah, it's all I love movies where everything's just visual and they're not showing and not telling. Love it. And this is like the perfect thing. There's no dialogues of like their life before. It's like none of that's important right now. What's important is these monsters are still around. They need to survive. And like they just focus on that, and like you know this dangers and you know the stakes. Which makes me more excited too for the second one, because from what I've seen from the trailers, they're gonna like, I'm pretty sure it like starts with like day one.
The backstory,
So I'm like, I can't wait to see what happens.
So that'll be interesting to see.
But I like how for this one they just kept like, I think that's an interesting thing to explore in a sequel. But for this first one, I like how they kept it that way.
It didn't need to be fully like fleshed out.
No.
With like starting from day one. So I do appreciate that they did start 89 days in.
Yeah.
So
that was an interesting. I wonder why they picked 89.
Interesting take. Odd number to just sort of start.
I would have picked like, I would have been like day 100.
Yeah. Well, no, because if you think about it, if it's natural storytelling, it's not going to happen. They're not going to lose their son on the 100th day.
No, I'm glad they did that. So I just knowing me, because obviously I'm not a filmmaker, I probably would have done something like that and just would have thrown off things.
And that's why no one will watch your movie.
That's why no one will watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think little things like that just kind of add to the overall beauty of this terrifying movie.
Yeah. And then you find out she's pregnant.
Which who does?
And then that's my biggest issue with this movie. I don't know why you would choose to have a baby in this world. Wow. Read the room.
Read the room. Read the room. But then again, also let's look at our current situation. We're in a pandemic, and do you know like birth rates are just skyrocketing. So,
Yeah.
I guess
It's just like the thought of having a baby is just kind of like, if I was in
Already-
her position, like a terrifying thing
Ew.
to go through. It's like, why would you want to go through that? Like, I get
Yeah.
why they would want one because they lost a
they
child.
lost a child. Yeah.
But I don't understand bringing a child. into
Why
this
would you
world.
bring a child into
this
a world like
and
this?
then knowing you have to raise that baby's gonna be crying nonstop, being needy like a baby.
It's a baby. They don't know any better.
Like, what's your plan?
Yeah.
What is your like? And
A box, yeah, but
and then when it's born, you see that there's somewhat of a plan.
Yeah.
But it's like that.
they do.
I don't know.
I will say this much: this family is extremely resilient and very smart.
They're a great family. I love the family.
They
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
They're everything that they do. From like, they got rid of their plates. They started using like lettuce and like leaves as their plates because
Oh yeah,
those
that
are
sounds-
silent.
Yeah.
You know,
Then walking barefoot.
walking barefoot
I would
everywhere,
hate
using the
that.
sand.
Oh my god, I would hate
I
that.
could never. I could never live in a world where I had to walk barefoot everywhere. No, absolutely not. Which going off of
That's
that.
the first thing I saw. The first movie I saw like that was Lord of the Rings when they were walking
yeah.
barefoot. And I was like, how? That's even
How?
worse because they're walking across all these different terrains. I was like, do your
know.
foot? It's not cut up.
I know it's
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off.
no, it's okay. I actually earlier this week just watched another disaster movie. It was Greenland.
Oh, I saw that.
It was
I liked it.
It was a really good movie.
I liked it, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But I keep thinking, I'm like, why do people in these disaster films like, we need to survive? No. If an apocalypse happens, if a zombie apocalypse happens, if anything happens, I want to die immediately. I don't want to live to see it happen.
But they have families they gotta protect.
And I told my family, I said, hey, we need a suicide pact. This is our plan.
Oh my God.
Something happens, we all meet up at...
What kind of
at
suicide pact? Are you talking B-movie suicide pact? Or
you sting me, or...
you sting me. No, you step on me, I'll sting you.
There you go, yeah.
That would just kill you twice.
That just kill you twice. Yeah, that's kind of like what we're going to do. No, I told them, I was like, let's meet up at my brother's house because it meets up in the middle between all our houses.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We'll have a party and then we'll all just kill each other. And that'll be it. And we don't got to live through it. And that's it. That's all I want.
So you would have done that if for The Quiet Place.
Yes. If that were to happen, I'd say, just take me now. I don't want to live through it.
Well, that's why you're not Emily Blunt.
No.
And your family's
No,
John Krasinski.
I hope okay, first of all, I wouldn't even last a day in the apocalypse.
Oh,
we all know
the fact that they made it to day 89 to begin with is
I could never.
incredible. Yeah.
I'm not smart enough for that. I don't have any like skills that'll
survival
keep me
skills.
alive. Yeah.
I don't know sign. Like them knowing sign is huge advantage.
I know some sign. I used to
Well,
know
yes,
all.
I know a few phrases. My sister's deaf.
Yeah.
But she's still learning sign because she's deaf, but she also has equipment that allows her to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not quite the exact same circumstances. For example, like the girl in the
Mm-hmm.
film, but yeah, I know tiny bit.
Yeah, just
I do want to learn more though.
we should do that. Yeah,
That'd be good.
We'll have an episode where we all teach each other sign.
That would be good.
That'd be
I definitely want to I wanted to get my sister on here for this, but
Yes.
we have something planned later for bringing guests on. We have a
Yes,
system
yeah.
we want.
We're working on it,
We're working
yeah.
on that. So yeah.
But yeah, if the apocalypse comes, no, thank you.
Yeah, no
That's-
good.
yeah.
But speaking of John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, obviously, like chemistry. Yes, it's gonna be there with them too because they're obviously husband and
Yes,
wife.
yeah.
I think it's really cool that they're finally working on something together.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading that he actually was really hesitant to like ask her because they've always kind of wanted to keep the careers separate. But then she read the script and she's like, "There's no way you're letting anyone else do this. Like, I need to do this with you." And so I think it's really cool that they're in it together.
That's really cool.
So obviously them being husband and wife already
yeah.
helps, but like they're great together.
Yeah, I mean, you have that one scene where yes, they're living in a sort of post-apocalyptic world where monsters are roaming and killing everyone, but you still have these small glimpses of like somewhat normalcy.
Normalcy, yeah.
When he's working on the hearing aid for the daughter, and she comes in, and the Emily Blunt comes in and is like, "Oh, I'm pregnant. I feel fat, and he's like, "You're beautiful." Like, and like it's just like a really sweet moment, and they dance together. And so you see like those small moments where it's like it almost feels like it's not happening.
Yeah, for a moment.
For a moment. and then you
They
realize
kind of forget about all that's happening, and then you go up and you realize, oh, okay, we might die any given second.
Yes, at any moment we could die. So that's So I liked that little moment, and you definitely see the chemistry come through between them.
It's just like, it just really shows how throughout all, I mean, like, really, this movie is just, it's a family story. It's them surviving together and being there for each other and helping each other.
I think it's a really beautiful family that they do truly care about each other. There's that one scene where the little brother and the dad, they go to the river. He like wants to teach him and stuff, and they have that moment where he's like, why didn't you bring her? Like, she wanted to come, why did you take her instead? And it's like, do you blame her for death?
What happened?
And he's like no, but he also like blames himself. And I think almost every one of them, except for the little brother, blames himself for the death of the youngest. And he's like, you should tell her that you love her, because
she doesn't feel it.
She doesn't feel it. So he's like, he sees that as that his sister doesn't feel that love,
because there's clearly tension between the dad and the daughter from the beginning. Because even him like trying to fix a cochlear implant for her, she's like, no, like, I'm done trying.
Like, it never works.
Blah. And then obviously like him taking him, like, the brother to the river and not her, even though she wanted to go and he didn't want to go. And she's like, no, you need to stay home with your mom, blah, blah. Like, it would, I get it. It would, especially with the guilt that she must be feeling from the youngest brother dying.
So good brother to like help out his sister.
The fact that they were able to connect through that way.
And then
because if it was my sister and I, we'd probably be like fighting every second still, not even aware that we had to survive.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that. That gave me a good idea for a future movie. I'm writing this down.
Okay, you tell me later.
I'll tell you later. But I think there are a few moments where you really see their sibling bond, and it's a really nice thing. There's at the point towards the end of the movie when it's like just high stress moments, and you see them like work together, or like even when he's lost and she first finds him, he's just like, definitely. Oh, thank God I found him.
And that one scene in particular where with the corn, for me that was like the one scene in the movie that I don't think I felt as much tension throughout, but I think it mostly serves as a purpose of them two bonding and
showing like that they really do care for each other.
So I think it works in that way. But I think compared to all the other sequences in the movie, that one didn't really have the same amount of tension, but still had a purpose,
So going back to the scene where you see like he takes him to the river, so that's a nice father-son bonding moment.
I like that scene.
You don't have to worry. We're safe. And he's like, I'm gonna protect you no matter what. And he wants to make sure that he understands that, which in the end he does. He is always there to protect him.
And where they're yelling
until the very end. No. So
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that later.
But when they're like, when he's like telling him like, and he starts screaming and he starts looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, like, no, you're safe. Like, you're
safe. It's okay.
Yeah.
He's like, take a moment, let out your frustration.
Yeah. Which I mean, I'm sure maybe if you nitpick a lot in this movie, you might find like plot holes here and there. But for me, I don't know, watching, I'm glad everything they kind of set up, like the rules they set up, for me fit. Fine. Like, that makes sense. Like them being able to yell because there's a louder sound. Like, obviously they'll react to loud sounds, but there's a louder sound that's going to attract them more. I guess. So it made sense to me.
I thought it made sense. I didn't find anything that
there was no apparent like
nothing plot in your face that was a very.
The only thing I just didn't understand was the whole pregnancy thing.
I mean, you need to add a little bit of sauce to the movie.
But I thought there was already enough tension without that.
You're right.
But there, you got a baby now, so there you go.
But there's a baby now, so
we'll deal with it.
So there's just So as the movie goes on, I feel like there's just more and more stress. It's just such a stressful movie because there's just like more and more things are happening. Because it starts with they're coming back from the river and. Then they run into that old man.
God.
Who
that old man, oh my God.
With his wife was killed by, I'm assuming, the monsters. Which is weird because why would they leave the body there?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Did they Oh, is that what it was? For whatever reason, I thought they were implying that like he resorted to like cannibalism or something.
Or maybe that was it. I don't know, because
I thought that's what it was. I'm like, maybe he was so desperate that he felt like he had to. But I don't know. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know.
It's probably what it wasn't.
All I know is that he was like, well, this is it for me. Signing off.
And he's like holding it. He's like,
I know.
I don't know how that wasn't a bigger meme back in the day.
I know. I was looking at the face. I was like,
how did it not?
Yeah,
because I did see a meme where it was it was that, and when he opens his mouth, it's like the PlayStation 2 startup sound or something.
That's
like, I saw this 3 years too late. Oh my goodness.
3 years too late. Yeah, no, that would have been a great meme. But yeah, so from there on, you just pure stress, because from there, she starts going into labor. Her water breaks.
Well, no, even before that, you know what was the most like, honestly, the most like moment of the movie? What? Stepping on that damn nail.
Oh my god, the nail.
First of all,
no, she her water breaks and then she steps on the nail. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, you're right. But first of all, when the nail first shows up, I'm like, why didn't they make it a priority to fix it?
Well, she didn't notice it.
I thought she looked at it. No.
No, because she was pulling the laundry up and
it got stuck.
But I don't think she thought that it.
I would have, but if it got stuck on something, I would have checked what it got stuck on.
Yeah, you would have checked. But
and then also after it happens, like the nail's still there, like. Your kid, like literally, the kids were running down the stairs. That was something
that I did notice. I was like, you should probably, because like they weren't there. They weren't like,
and the kids probably don't even. I'm sure the kids didn't know that happened to you. So like, what if easily the kids could have ran down and like done the same thing happened to them?
Yeah, I in a way I was kind of like, I wonder if it's gonna be like a trap for the monster.
For the monster. That's what's gonna stop the monster. Him stepping on a nail.
Him stepping on a nail. That's it. That's its weakness.
Oh god, no. That's the weakness. The nail. I would have been so that would have been so bad. Oh my gosh.
That would have been funny. Yeah, I would have lost all credibility.
For real. No, but speaking on that labor scene, I mean, literally everything with Emily Blunt is like perfection.
Oh, she did it incredible.
Like, I didn't really realize how many emotions and things that that character had to go through in that movie. Like losing your youngest.
Yes.
What else did I write?
Like everything that could happen to her.
Yes, like she was pregnant. She lost her youngest. Stepping on that damn nail.
Yes, and all of this going through it alone.
Yes.
Like having the baby, having to deal with it on her own because he's off to try and find the other kids, and the monster's right there. Just everything bad continuously happens to her, and she is so brave. She is so strong.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing character.
Dude, it's like, I mean, really, like you were saying, with not a lot of dialogue, she really didn't say much. It's like, it reminded me of like, I'm sure like before people started talking in movies, like those silent movie kind of roles. That's what it felt like watching her.
Yeah, I don't think they were quite as good as this role.
No. But what I mean is like just being able to communicate so much emotion without dialogue. Without having to say words. And then, so honestly, like, even though I know what they sound like in real life, when they first speak in this movie, it was kind of like
it was jarring.
It's kind of jarring because you're so used to not hearing them talk for most of this.
Yeah, definitely.
But that also like goes again to the great use of the sound. Like one thing the thing that I wanted to mention with the sound in particular was the sound of those monsters. The kind of the clacking nature was like, I remember from the theater was like so
it's so creepy and unsettling, and I loved the monsters in this movie.
I think honestly the way they sounded looked more creepy. They sounded more creepy than they looked, because I think they looked creepy too.
They looked creepy. They looked like skin bags.
Yes, they look so ugly. When I saw them, I was like, ew.
They're just so they're so gross ugly.
Looking.
And I do like that they kind of like saved the an actual visual of the monster for the end of the movie. Yeah. Like you probably saving money while doing that.
Probably, yeah. That's probably why it didn't cost more to make it. But I also think that added to the story. Like I know in Jaws, for example, you don't really see the shark till the end. Yeah. And I think that also helps with the tension, because if you see like glimpses of the monster like early, but they're very quick, like flashes and stuff. But when you're finally like when they're really faced with that thret, that's when you really see the monster, really see him, and it kind of hits you too. Like, oh, you ugly.
Yeah.
So
you ugly.
Especially because they kind of teased you with how they sounded, even without seeing. So you already felt the threat of the monster before.
Yeah.
You even see it. Yeah. You know, and they just sound so.
They were just.
Hated it, but no, it was good.
Yeah, no, I think that was really good. So during the pregnancy, they had that whole plan of like setting off the fireworks,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
she can go into labor.
So she
and
can just scream as loud as she needs to.
Oh my god, that whole
that scene was so like painful. I'm like,
because
and then,
she's just holding it.
I know, and then
the
the monster's like crawling up. I'm like, oh god, no.
I know. Oh god, it's just it's so stressful watching it, and I loved it.
I know.
Oh god, yeah, and again, just very smart again on the family. They really thought of everything.
I know. They really did.
They really did.
Like even like as soon as the baby was born, I'm like, what is their plan to shut this baby up?
Yeah.
They put it in the box, and I guess the box
Which
was
works,
well enough
yeah.
soundproof. I would think that wouldn't.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie.
It's a.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest testing it on an
Like
actual
yeah,
baby.
like, I guess not. So like obviously like I mean yeah, we already kind of talked about her pregnancy, but it's just kind of like obviously you're gonna have a baby, you're not gonna go through an abortion like obviously like that's the decision.
Yeah.
But if you're like don't want to go through all that, don't like clearly. If it was a year later that this happened, it's like clearly they were having like quite a bit of fun during this time.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't think to be a little more careful.
just a little bit
more careful.
Come on now.
I just like we said, read the room,
Read the room.
guys. Come on now.
Yeah, that was not smart planning ahead.
Yeah, no, definitely
Everything else that they did plan ahead pretty well, except for that one thing.
for sure.
Except for that.
That one anyway.
Yeah. So let's get towards the end of the movie where we
Yes.
see the father. He.
Oh, that broke my heart, dude.
Yeah, John Krasinski.
Yes, because I will tell you this, something else I want to mention. So, a lot of times when we were working in the theater, we had to do like kind of like walkthroughs where we like see people's on their phones or whatever, and also towards the end of the movie, like set up trash bags. So, you know, when you walk out, you throw them away.
Yeah.
So obviously to do that, you have to walk in the theater, see the end of the movie.
Oh.
I literally, until I saw the movie, refused to do it. I would say, can you do it instead? Because I did not want the ending ruined for me. So literally what I would do is when I didn't have a choice, I would stand near the door, but not near where I could see the screen. I would just hear what was happening. And so I heard the scream of like when that happens, and I had no idea what was going on. And I was like, why is that person screaming?
Okay.
And then also this, we'll talk about it obviously when we get to the very end, but the whole gun sound at the end.
Yes.
I heard it, and I was like, what is going on?
What is happening?
I literally was like this. I was like, I did not want to hear or see anything because I was like, I don't want to ruin it for myself.
That's funny.
But yeah, but then when I saw the movie and I saw him scream, I was like, no.
Yeah, that was. Oh god, that's such a heartbreaking scene. He sacrifices himself to save his family, and it really shows like his character. His number one priority is taking care of his family, and through just like every interaction with them, with trying to fix the earpiece for the daughter, and then just taking that time with the son, being like, it's okay, like I know you're afraid, but you don't have to be so afraid. Just every moment with him and his wife.
And then with his daughter, ultimately is like I feel like the real emotional thing for me was him and his daughter.
Yes,
because he finally like tells her that he
like,
loves her.
I love you. I've always loved you.
Yeah.
And it's just so, and you just see the pain in her eyes. She's like, what is he, like, she knows, like, these are his last words.
Yeah.
She knows what he's about to do. And he screams, the monster comes to get him and is away from the children.
Yeah.
They are able to make it out alive. And then so they get to the basement, they meet up with the mother.
Yeah.
And
the baby's in the box. Do we see the baby again after he's in the box?
No, yeah, the little brother's holding him.
Oh, right.
He's hiding with the baby in the corner.
Yeah, I remember now. I remember. Yes,
yeah.
thank you. Because I was like, wait, was he just stuck in the box?
Just stuck in the box.
We'll just ignore that even happened.
Yeah, no, he was with the little brother. So they don't even get a moment to grieve.
And the crazy thing about it is there's already literally the whole movie is just kind of filled with grief. Like literally the thought of that youngest brother dying is like on all their minds the whole time.
The whole time, yeah.
So like on top of that now like
they have to grieve.
But then like you're saying, they literally don't have any moment to reflect on it. They just have to like
they have to keep going,
defend themselves.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's.
So I wonder how much more this second movie is going to focus on the grief of losing him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm interested in that.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting because they, like you're saying, they barely had time to process. I'm like, maybe this will give them the time to process it. And
yeah. But I mean, I will say she does get. You get to see her like get angry at least with the monster. Because they find the weakness of the monster with the.
Finally, yeah, they kind of tease it a little early with her equipment.
And she has, it's the frequencies are like super high, and they hear it.
Which I can attest to with my sister. Every time I've heard that kind of frequency, it's like almost like I can't take it.
Yeah.
So I immediately, like, when that happened, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Especially because, I mean, their hearing is so amplified, it must be also pretty sensitive. So after a point, it's gonna be like, that's their weakness right there. So I thought that was cool. That it also made her, like, I feel like it made her feel more useful.
Yeah.
Because she's probably reflecting the whole movie on, like, oh, I'm just ruining everything. Like, and then this is her moment.
That's
her moment to, like,
all right, I'm going to save the day. And that's what she wants to do. She really feels like she has to redeem herself throughout the whole movie. That's why she's always like, I'll do it.
Right.
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
I'll do the dangerous thing if it means, like, it's good for everyone else.
Especially through what she probably sees as a weakness, as her being deaf. But it's like, well, it's because of that in this case that you actually, like...
You survive. Yeah.
Right.
So they find the weakness, and then Emily Blunt looks like a badass with, like,
dude.
the shotgun.
Oh my god!
And then they, like, see the next two monsters coming, and they're like, "All right, we could take them." And she with the shot. Oh, it's
so, dude. When she's like,
an awesome.
I'm like,
oh, what a way to end.
I love the ending.
What
so
a
much.
way! Like, that was such a great ending.
Yeah.
I loved that. But yeah, so that brings us to the conclusion of the movie.
Dude, yeah, and it's just such a, like, quick. I mean, it's only like an hour and a half movie. It's not very long at all, but it's just like a perfect
it's
way to do it.
It was amazing. Yeah, I really loved it.
Loved it. And one quick thing I will say too, when they go down in that basement, is when the daughter actually finally sees, like, everything the father was doing.
Yeah, that moment.
And
that's when you really see her, like, break down. She's like, he did love me, and I didn't see it.
Didn't really, like,
I didn't realize it, and now he's gone.
It's too late. Yeah.
And I can't appreciate
while he's here.
Yes. So that was such a heartbreaking scene to see.
But
yeah.
I think mainly I will say something interesting. He was also talking about how he was talking with, like, the creator of The Office, and the guy in The Office was saying, like when you deliver your lines, don't try to deliver them funny, deliver them as you. And if the audience finds it funny, then like they'll find it funny. If they find a scene with you and Pam emotional, like, that's how they'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And so he kind of took that as, like, I'm not going to try to make a movie that scares people or anything. It's just I'm just going to tell this story. If people think it's scary, that's good, but ultimately, like, I just want this to be a story about, like, family.
Yeah. Which I think really I think shows.
Yes, for sure. Because you can tell they're not trying to go for cheap scares or, like, none of that. It's like the only reason why I think a lot of people were so, like, tense and scared watching is because you care so much about the family.
Yes.
Like, they're in danger.
Yeah, you have such lovable characters. And you love their bond together, and because of that you want to see them succeed. And so seeing them in danger for an hour and a half is,
like, that's all the tension I need, you know?
Yeah.
When you care about them, that's really all I need.
Yeah, again, goes back to the storytelling. Is they did a wonderful job with that.
Yeah.
With getting to have those emotions with the characters and tie it in.
For sure.
So yeah.
Did you have any final thoughts?
Did I have any final thoughts?
I actually went through all my thoughts there. So
wow, good job. I think I might have gone through all mine too. I mean, I think overall this has just been a really great movie.
It was great.
Yeah, I'm very excited to watch the next one.
I know, it made me even more hyped to watch part 2.
Honestly.
So excited.
Yeah, and talking about it gets me even more excited.
Because I will say, after the first one came out, and then they announced they were doing a second one because the first one was so successful, I was like, I don't know, are they just gonna try to milk this thing?
Yeah.
But then, like, same cast, John Krasinski is directing again. I'm like, okay, you know what?
It could be good.
I'm gonna feel good about it. I feel good about it. If it was just like, I don't know, I was just worried about it.
Yeah.
But also, too, the reviews for the second one have been really good so far.
I'm okay.
So
that's good signs.
I'm good. I'm ready.
Yes.
But no, I love this movie, and I'm gonna go ahead and rate it.
Okay.
It's a 9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10. All right. I am also gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
A 9. Boom.
Boom. Delicious water.
Yes.
Or vodka. You don't know.
Anyways, but yeah, so with that all being said, those are our thoughts on A Quiet Place.
Yes.
If y'all are gonna see A Quiet Place, if y'all love this movie, if y'all are gonna see the second one, let us know. And like we said, we'll definitely
next week we're not gonna do spoilers for sure.
Like, no. Yes. When we talk about Quiet Place, it was gonna be a quick, like, non-spoiler review,
just like
just
kind of
our
overall
thoughts on the movie, and then maybe probably, like, later on, once it's out, like, on video or whatever, more people have seen it, then we'll really get into it. But No, just quick spoiler-free thoughts.
Yes, no spoilers.
But actually, did you want to get into our next episode a little? It's going to be a little bit different, like we were saying at the top of the show.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating our 10th episode, which I know isn't that big of a milestone.
But for us,
it's huge. It's massive.
It's massive because motivation and
life
in general is just not a great big thing for us. So
for us to make it to 10 episodes is pretty awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we wanted to celebrate in our own way. Mm-hmm. So we won't be talking about any particular movie next week.
We are going to be having some fun. We're going to do some movie trivia.
Yes.
Which will be fun. Test our knowledge.
See our knowledge about movies, which is probably
very bad.
Very bad.
Not going to go well at all.
No.
So that'll
might be
fun.
the longest game of trivia possible.
Yeah, and then
we'll see what happens.
We'll also talk a little bit about the worst movies
ever seen. Yeah, so we started off our show talking about our favorite movies of all time. We're going to spend some time talking about the worst. Because we've seen quite a bit of stinkers.
Yes.
And I'm very looking forward to
I'm excited to talk about this.
Because a lot of the movies, I saw them, hated them, and just kind of put them away in my memories.
Push them away. So to dig back deep into that'll be fun.
That'll be fun to do.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Very excited for that. So it'll be our 10th episode.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
watch out for that.
Watch out for that.
It should be very fun. And then after that, we have also pretty cool plans coming up after that episode too. So starting after 10, we're
gonna pick up.
We're picking up the pace here.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good. So if you want to know about all that, we're on every single social media platform to keep on all these updates. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all at In a Wider Screen. So all the updates will be on there if we can maintain them. And then to continue watching and listening to us, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are at In a Wider Screen Podcast. You can find us on there and watch the video version of this podcast if the audio is not enough for y'all. If you want to get a visual, look at all this craziness.
Look at our faces.
Yes, we're on there. And then, of course, every single audio streaming platform we're on there too. So Spotify, Apple, everywhere. We on there.
We there.
So
thank you guys for listening and watching. It's been fun talking about A Quiet Place. Yes. Again, I'm so excited to see the next one.
I know.
Hope everyone else can go and see it too.
If it's safe in your area, if you feel safe, I would definitely. I would probably.
Let's all go to the movies together.
Yes.
Us and our 3 listeners.
Which I think it is. Yes. Which I think honestly, I was gonna say was something that was really cool because I remember when they postponed it last year. John Krasinski. He was like, I want to wait till it's safe for everyone to come see it together. Yes. And now it's like. We're getting closer to that point. I guess getting enough to the point where we felt comfortable doing that now. So that's really exciting. That's coming out. And but yeah,
should be fun.
Should be fun.
Excited. Thanks again. But that is all for today's episode.
Bye.